His mother was a devout Catholic. His father was agnostic. He, at age 10, became an acolyte at St. Martin's Catholic Church. It was 1890. In the years that followed, he became disillusioned. His priest was a cynic. And at 18, in Vienna, apprenticed to his uncle, a successful tailor, Norbert discovered the Baptists. He became a minister. He founded almost a dozen churches, from Ukraine to Budapest. Yet slowly, his faith became more and more liberal. He left Bohemia under government threat. He accepted a call to serve a Baptist church in New York City. That was until one day in 1919. On that day, he wrote in his diary, "I cannot be a Baptist anymore, even in compromise. The fire of new desires, new worlds, is burning inside me." Norbert and his wife Maya Capek joined a Unitarian church in New Jersey in 1921. For the same reason a whole lot of you sought out a Unitarian church. Their children liked the religious education program. That's the power of Sunday school. World War I ended, and his home country now independent, he and Maya returned home to Czechoslovakia. His Unitarian church there was the Prague Liberal Religious Fellowship. In just 20 years, it grew to 3,200 members. In the traditional Christian communion service, bread and wine wouldn't meet the needs of his congregation because his church, like ours, had people who believed different things, Christians and non-Christians alike. Capek turned to the beauty of the countryside, to the beauty of flowers. And in 1923, he developed the flower ceremony. He asked his congregants to bring a flower to church from their gardens, the field, the roadside. Each person put their flower in a vase, and there in front was the church community, unique and united, both at once. Following the service, each person took a flower from the vase, a different one than they had brought, each returning home blessed by someone else's beauty. Capek's church was a church that was willing to take risks. It was a church willing to make tough decisions and bear disappointments and be bold and then be even bolder. That's our church too. That was Capek's church, called to practice the three prophetic tasks of every liberal church: realism in the face of ideology, and grief when the world is in denial, and hope when the world is in despair. That's our work too: realism, grief, and hope. For this, the Gestapo arrested him in 1942. Nazis accused Capek of listening to foreign broadcasts. They accused him of high treason and used his sermons as evidence of that crime. He was sent to Dachau concentration camp. And even in starvation and torture, he held a flower ceremony for his fellow prisoners, finding whatever they could among the weeds in the camp. They testified there to a beauty larger than themselves, to a love that would outlive them. Capek wrote, "It's worthwhile to live and fight courageously for sacred ideals." He said, "Blow ye evil winds into my body's fire, my soul you'll never unravel. Even though disappointed 1,000 times or fallen in the fight, and everything would worthless seem, I have lived amidst eternity. Be grateful, my soul. My life was worth living." The Nazis killed Norbert Capek, but his spirit, his courage, his commitment live on today. They've passed to us now, to make real, to be visible. Ours now is the responsibility to stand fast in the liberty and with the liberation for which he died. His wife Maya brought the flower ceremony to the Unitarian Church in Cambridge, Massachusetts in 1940. And 6 years later, the minister of that church brought it with him to Chicago when he came to serve in this city. When we gather in person and share flowers in the service, it isn't because we're historical reenactors of something over and done with. This ritual is an affirmation of our continuity, our participation with the generations of struggle for an ever-widening liberty. The flower ceremony, lovely though it is, isn't a diversion from ugly reality. It is a gentle fierceness which proclaims that in the midst of dark days, there is always beauty, and in the midst of isolation, there is always solidarity. To participate in the flower ceremony isn't to recall something over and done with, but to participate in something that is still happening right now, right here. It's to remember, to put it back together again, that in the remembering of this story, we put ourselves back together again, each as a part of the body of this community, out of many, one. The flowers growing in our community right now are hand-painted signs, stenciled signs, printed signs, window signs, electronic signs. The flowers growing in yards right now are signs that proclaim unity, one love, signs which declare Black Lives Matter. These signs, these flowers, are a testimony to a beauty larger than any of us. They're a faithfulness to a love that will outlive us. They declare that we will remember and we will recommit ourselves to the liberty and the liberation for which so many have died. In a voice of solemnity and joy, these flowers call us back to ourselves again, back to the lives we share, the hope we share, the breath we share. This beauty doesn't just comfort us, it commissions us for the work ahead. This beauty does not pacify us, but proclaims a hope which is ours to make real. A flower, a sign, a slogan is a symbol only, not a substitute for reform, not a replacement for change that will and must come. Political, economic, legislative, a flower, a sign, a slogan is a symbol. But we know that symbols change who we are when they remind us who we are called to be, when they remind us who we are, to live and fight courageously for sacred ideals. Amen.